Aquatru and Berkey are two of the most popular filters for drinking water. Both are countertop systems, but that's basically where the similarities end. Now, I've personally tested both multiple times, so I'm going to tell you about the key differences you need to know before purchasing either of these filters. Price is a big factor when choosing a water filter, and at the time of recording, the Aquatru Classic costs just under $450, and the Big Berkey is around $370. The Aquatru is one of the most affordable countertop reverse osmosis systems, while Berkey is more expensive than most of its competitors. Now, of course, the most important factor to consider is their contaminant reduction performance. So we used a water testing service called TapScore to test our water quality both before and after filtering it through the Berkey and Aquatru systems. Now, it's important to note that each of these tests were conducted at different times with different water sources, so while not a perfect apples to apples comparison, it's still helpful to see how they match up in terms of how they dealt with the contaminants detected. The Aquatru eliminated 11 contaminants with health effects detected in our water, including metals, barium, copper, lead, molybdenum, strontium, uranium, and zinc, inorganics including chloride, fluoride, nitrate, phosphorus, and sulfate, as well as chlorine, tastes and odors, and chloroform, a disinfection byproduct. This is exactly what we expected from a certified multi-stage reverse osmosis system, since the RO process rejects the majority of contaminants and purifies the water. So one setback of the reverse osmosis process is that it also strips out the healthy minerals that can affect the water's taste and pH. The classic Aquatru model reduced calcium by 97% and magnesium by 94%, and completely eliminated sodium. And so to address this issue, Aquatru now offers a remineralization filter option. We tested again using this filter, and calcium still decreased by 97.5% and sodium by 85%, but magnesium actually increased by 33%. The pH increased significantly from 7.3 to 10.7, and carbonate, a component of alkalinity, increased by 17,000% to 14.3 parts per million. Now let's see how the Big Berkey compares. In our first test, it did a great job removing 100% of metals, including barium, copper, lead, manganese, and strontium. It also eliminated chlorine and disinfection byproducts, including chloroform and bromodichloromethane. And for the inorganics detected, sulfate was reduced by 90%, but fluoride was only reduced by 50%. Now, we were also surprised to see that aluminum was detected post-filtration at 1.4 ppm, well above the most conservative health guidelines of 0.6 ppm. Our theory is that aluminum oxide, also known as activated alumina, was leaching from the white Berkey PF2 fluoride reduction filters. Now, I wanted to find out if this alumina leaching issue was a one-off or if I would get similar results, so we tested again using a completely new set of fluoride filters. This time, only 0.069 ppm of aluminum was detected post-filtration, well below the health guideline, but still a 33% increase compared to the unfiltered water. This helped support our hypothesis that the issue was likely due to over-tightening the fluoride filters when installing them, which highlights a huge design flaw, which is that the filters can even be over-tightened in the first place, leaving room for user error. In terms of minerals, the Big Berkey actually completely removed calcium and magnesium in our first test, while potassium increased by 604% and sodium remained the same. This indicates the use of a potassium-loaded ion exchange resin in the filter media. In our second test, we actually saw mineral concentrations increase, but our hypothesis is that this was due to our testing process this time and not the filters themselves. Aquatru did a better job at reducing contaminants compared to Berkey without adding or increasing the concentrations of unwanted impurities. Now, are there any other water filters you've been looking into that you want to see us test? If so, let me know down in the comments so I can add them to our list for a future project, and give this video a like to let me know that you find this kind of testing data helpful. Now, it's also important to look at official performance certifications, which are a good tool to give us an idea of how a water filter will perform beyond the scope of our own limited real-life testing. The Aquatru is certified by IAPMO to NSF ANSI standards 42, 53, P358, 401, and P473 for the reduction of 83 contaminants. It is currently the only countertop water filter that I've tested which is certified for the reduction of every single contaminant the manufacturer claims it can reduce. Berkey, by contrast, has no official performance certifications at all. Another key difference between the two is their filtration rate. The Aquatru filters water using an electric pump, but the purified water gets stored in a tank and dispensed via gravity. By contrast, the Berkey relies on gravity for both the dispensing and the filtration process. In our testing, the Aquatru purified 11 cups of water in just under 16 minutes, giving it a flow rate of 0.04 gallons per minute. The Berkey had a filtration rate of 0.75 gallons per hour, using the 2 black filters and 2 fluoride filters. So in the current version of our scoring system, water filters that rely on gravity are measured differently than those that rely on pressure to filter the water. So here, it may look like the Berkey got a better score, but when we do the conversion, the Aquatru actually provides a much quicker filtration rate at 2.4 gallons per hour. As for design, we're looking at 2 objectively different systems here. The Big Berkey is a 2.25 gallon stainless steel cylindrical system with 2 chambers separated by a set of filters. The Aquatru, on the other hand, is mostly made of Triton plastic and holds just 3/4 of a gallon of water. Design quality, safety, and longevity are all factors we considered when comparing the 2 systems in this category. The fact that the Aquatru is primarily made of plastic and, although certified for material safety, may still be an issue for some folks. Even though the main vessel of the Berkey is made of stainless steel, it still has a plastic spigot and the filter brackets are made of plastic too. And if you use the PF2 fluoride filters, the plastic filter housings themselves actually sit down in the lower filtered water chamber. It also has a few unique design flaws that we identified. First, there's no way to see the water level in the bottom chamber, which can pose an overflow risk if it's filled too much. And like I already touched on, the way that the PF2 fluoride filters are designed can pose risk of user error and actually cause the activated aluminum media inside to leach into the filtered water. So the initial setup of one system is much easier than the other. We struggled a lot more with the Berkey, mostly due to the difficult filter priming process, which took about an hour for all 4 filters. Aside from that, the setup of the system itself was relatively straightforward and only took about 20 minutes to install all of the components. By contrast, the Aquatru is a plug-and-play system that was a lot quicker and easier to set up. It arrives essentially ready to use. All you have to do is install and flush the filters by running 4 batches of water through the system. Now, it's also important to compare the ongoing maintenance tasks associated with each system, which includes both regular cleaning as well as the long-term affordability of the replacement filters. The Aquatru is both cheaper and easier to maintain, with handy filter change reminders on the display for each of the 3 filters, and a filter replacement cost of just 11 cents per gallon. Now, you do have to empty and refill the wastewater tank, which does add a little bit of extra work. So if we're to believe Berkey's filter lifespan claims, their ongoing filter replacement cost is just 13 cents per gallon, so it could be very affordable to maintain. But there are doubts about Berkey's 3,000 gallon filter capacity claim and whether or not their filters really do last that long. If they don't actually last that long, the maintenance cost would be more than 13 cents per gallon. And because their filters aren't certified, there's no proof they'll actually last as long as they claim. Finally, I want to talk about how Berkey and Aquatru compare as companies. Now, Berkey products are not sold directly by the manufacturer, so for this comparison, we looked at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com, one of the most popular Berkey distributors. Aquatru offers a 1-year limited warranty with the option to extend it to 3 years for $50 and free shipping to all 50 states. Big Berkey water filters have a lifetime warranty for Berkey products, but their shipping policy is is lacking. They only ship to the lower 48 states, except for California and Iowa, where they're not allowed to sell products, and you only get free shipping if you spend $99 or more. Both Berkey and Aquatru have a 30-day returns policy. Aquatru performed better overall in our data-driven scoring system. There's also the fact that it actually purifies water, and unlike Berkey, it didn't add any unwanted impurities into our water. It was way easier to set up and maintain, and is more affordable than similar countertop RO systems. It has a slightly higher upfront price tag, requires electricity, and you need to be okay with the wastewater produced by the reverse osmosis process. Now, if you're leaning towards Berkey because of its stainless steel gravity-fed design, the most important thing to keep in mind is that it's not performance certified. It should not be relied on alone to filter untreated surface water in emergency situations unless properly disinfected as well. It's also pretty expensive compared to similar systems. The filters are a nightmare to prime, and there's an overflow risk due to a design flaw, and it requires additional specialized filters for fluoride and arsenic reduction. Not to mention the other design flaw with these filters that can cause the aluminum oxide media to leach if the filters are over-tightened by accident. At the end of the day, the Aquatru is better than Berkey. It offers the most reassuring contaminant reduction performance, backed up by official performance certifications, and it continues to be one of the best countertop RO systems I've tested. If you're gonna buy the Aquatru, make sure to check out the description where I'll link up the most recent discounts I've found for you guys. And if you want to learn more about the best countertop water filters that can actually compete, click or tap the screen right now to keep watching.